So I'm willing to go to bed, but I first I want to tell you and explain something that I heard, and that causes me concern because I believe I understand what is being done more tactically that it will imply strategic use, and there are certain signs which scare us, and I'm going to talk from a standpoint of someone who has what can I say, experience in simulated naval warfare at a realistic level, and that was inside several warships like Canadian, German, British, Portuguese. I am Portuguese, and such. Even inside the command bridges with my brother. Look, what I want to tell you, and what is scaring me, is this. I heard that there is, so if we look at the world map, let's say the world map, and if we know the Israeli Navy and its platforms mean its ships, the main ships are the class Sahar 6. They are 3 or 4 corvettes with anti-ship missiles, anti-air missiles, part of the Iron Dome missiles, but also torpedoes, and an helicopter, which is a variant of the US-made Black Hawk, which in naval terms is called Seahawk because it has naval specifications. Those naval specifications allow them to search for submarines, to fight enemy surface vessels and such. But in general, both the forces, or the task forces, from the American and one from NATO, from the Americans and one from NATO. And I heard also that the Greek Navy or Hellenic Navy was mobilized. So they are around Cyprus. In Cyprus there is a big airbase which is named Akrotiri, and I believe it's manned by the British. But it's open, of course, to the other NATO countries. I heard that the Ford, Gerald Ford carrier group, and a carrier group as its in case of the American Gerald Ford, there's one Ticonderoga destroyer and 4 or 6, one Ticonderoga cruiser. The Ticonderoga is a cruiser, and 4 or 6 destroyers, 4 or 5 destroyers and such. So, and it almost certainly has 1 or 2 submarines. But the thing that when we watch information, there are certain things that if we know an area, an area, we our sensors light up. And I heard recently, like maybe 30 minutes ago, that the Israeli Navy has entered or is in the Red Sea. So, and if I heard correctly, the Eisenhower group would also be at the Red Sea. So, the Red Sea is follows the Suez Channel. So we have, like, at the south of Cyprus and at the south of Israel, in its border with Egypt, we had the Suez Canal. The Suez Canal is a way to enter the Red Sea. Then, if we come south in the Red Sea, we have like Saudi Arabia at. If we are traveling south, we have Saudi Arabia at our right and Yemen and such at our left. So the tactical move and what made my sensors pop it up is the following. What they call the Israeli Navy would be, because the missile boats and such would be closer, they don't have a lot of range, but what they should be calling the Israeli Navy must be the, I would say, like 2 or 3 Sa'ar 6, their best ships, corvettes, and like 1 or 2 maybe Sa'ar 5. Okay, because those have torpedoes, also have torpedoes. And I believe that if the Israelis sent like 3 Sa'ar ships, 3 Sa'ar 6 and 2 Sa'ar 5s, they would have like with 40 missiles, 40 Iron Dome platforms, and with its missiles, they would have like 200 Iron Dome missiles. Then they would have the Gabriel anti-ship missiles and probably harpoons. But what would happen is they would be, if the aim is to approach Iran, and I believe it is, maybe they are covering, and that's my suspicion, they are covering the Israel, like 1, maybe 2 Israeli submarines. And with the but if they entered that area alone, they would be at the range of not only the Yemeni missiles, but also probably the Iranian Air Force. But they can have the cover of the Eisenhower carrier group, and if they move, they descend the Red Sea and they turn left, they would be at the shores of Iran. So they would be close for a nuclear probable attack position, because the distance by land from Israel to Iran, they will have to violate probably Jordan airspace, and the missiles, if the nuclear submarines of Israel if the Israel submarines, which are like the Portuguese, but they are the type 212, so they would gain range, and even if the corvettes, the SARS 6 and 5 are there, they could be a way to protect the submarines. They could even be sacrificed in order for the submarines gain range, enter in the active range in which Iran could be nuked. And when I heard that the what we call blue Israel Navy, I'm saying this, but when they say Israeli Navy, the press members in general don't understand the concepts and the platforms. So I believe that the Israeli Navy is moving probably south on the Red Sea in order to be at effective range to probably attack Iran from its nuclear submarines. But Iran also has a navy and also has an air force. Although Israel could have technological superiority, we don't send, without a carrier group that would be provided by the Eisenhower group, we don't send ships into an area where the air force of the enemy has superiority, unless yes, they could defend from a barrage of attacks, but then we would have drones and such. They would expend all their surface-to-air missiles. So, sadly, I believe the plan is, and the tactic is that when I heard those ships moving south, the Israeli Navy moving south, or what we call, it would make all sense, even if we, because they would be at the south of Iran. The range would be significantly lower in order for them to attack them with torpedoes or missiles that their submarines could launch. So they would launch the missile from a torpedo tube, and when the torpedo canister reached the surface, they would ignite the missile, and then Iran would be nuked, even if that would mean the destruction of the SARS. But what would happen? A submarine is only effective but it's basically effective until the first shot. Then there would be a massive attack on the submarines that would be protected by the corvettes, the warships, the SAR 6 and SAR 5s. But the corvettes, even at the cost of themselves, would allow for maybe 2 or 3 nuclear salvos from the submarines. And that's the way I see the tactical situation, which is, and I didn't heard of this until now, but it's what I believe it's happening, and it's worrying, because then probably an Islamic nation like Pakistan, which does not have